all these crazy new investors into the market. What are they doing? How are they driving up these prices? Hey guys, welcome. Look, let's look at the overall market. Look, this website gives us a really good understanding of the US market's heat map. Now, this is all in different sectors. As you can see here, tech had a really massive push. Some SPAC players had some pushes. But as you can see, it's a bit of a mixed bag here. Obviously, invested into the NASDAQ as general, because obviously, it would go up in general with the entire market. Now, obviously here, as you can see, all ships lift everything just down. S&P showing it's going to be opening great. NASDAQ solid 1% open. Global the global Dow 1.34%. Oil slightly up. Gold, hasn't been doing very well. As you can see, top movers, Tesla's up the top there. This is really driving the entire market. As I said, look at the NASDAQ, really starting to come into its own there. If we have a look down here, Johnson & Johnson, it's really starting to, people are really starting to look at getting vaccinated. There's an emphasis out there that it's a lot more safer, a lot more businesses are opening, and, obviously this is driving the stock market prices. As you can see, Coinbase IPO, we spoke about that in yesterday's video. We'll go through some news on that later. Tesla, 8.6% up. Look, we've got some news on that. We'll go through that a bit later. But obviously, we've also got in here GameStop, 50% down. We definitely spoke about that yesterday. Still don't see it as a buy at this point. For anyone who's looking for a bit of a SPAC play, obviously, GameStop might be for you. It's not for me, not financial advice, but obviously that could be something that you want to look at. Let's just jump into the next one. So guys, Coinbase IPO, everything you need to know. They said that investing in Coinbase is not for the faint of heart, as the business and the stock will likely see dramatic countries as well. It is looking at going IPO this week. It is a very hot topic. I'm looking at it at the moment, looking at around about that $250, $300 US mark. Not too sure where it's going to end up. But look, this is going to be a very hot offer. There is no doubt that the public offering of Coinbase is a big deal in the world of crypto. The company was created just over a decade ago with the genesis of Bitcoin and is now in the mindset of a moment that many in the industry have described as a tipping point. There is a few ways to get direct ownership of cryptocurrency outside of buying them directly, a service that Coinbase provides for a fee and what investors appear willing to pay up for. Coinbase, whose users primarily deal in Bitcoin and Ethereum, reported last week that its revenue soared 847% in the first quarter to 1.8 billion, and that it now has 56 million verified users. 56 million verified users. Now, look, this is highly driven through to the next cycle into the bull market of cryptocurrency. However, this is where the trend, the trend is your friend until the end. 840% increase on quarter. That is phenomenal numbers. And I feel that the next quarter is going to be just as the same. It's going to be very volatile. It's going to be very up and down. Definitely something that you can't have weak hands for. You're going to have diamond hands with this one. But obviously, definitely something I'm looking at. Tesla. Who doesn't like a video on Tesla? Tesla stock ends at the best in nearly 8 weeks, jumps more than 8%. Shares of Tesla rallied 8.6% Tuesday to end their highest since February, when they closed at $781. Tuesday's advance was the largest one-day performance gain since March 9, when the stock rose 19.6%. Tesla is scheduled to report its first quarter earnings on Monday, the 26th of April. A departure from its usual Wednesday announcement. The Silicon Valley car maker plans on hosting a question and answering at around 5:30 Eastern. Now, look, guys, Tesla, if you haven't known, just reported its delivery and manufacturing of cars. It was a massive beat, massive beat. No one saw it coming. We had factories closed down. We had the revamp happening. There was a lot of things happening where people weren't aware or didn't think that Tesla was going to make their numbers. Not only did they make them, but they crushed them. I'm pretty sure, to my knowledge, it was around about 180, 185 cars. Phenomenal numbers, phenomenal numbers. You know, if you want to come down and read this article, you know, come and have a look here. Market Watch is definitely the place to go. You know, Tesla stock, I could definitely do a full video on Tesla. Look, if you want a full video in the comments, I'll look and see what I can do. And, you know, hopefully we can get one out to you. Interesting article here, guys. Why Generation I YOLO investors who never seen a bear market should worry us all. Now, obviously, you know, YOLO, you only live once. You know, it's definitely something to be speculative about. People, you know, these new generation have never seen a bear market. I've only invested since the crash correction in March, April, and I've only seen highs from there. You know, this is something that I'm not too worried about because I'm long term. But for anyone who's looking at getting into the market today, obviously, you know, please be wary that, you know, we could be looking at a bit of a correction as we've had massive increases over the last 12 months. First-time stock investors are making money now, but market veterans know how the story ends. It's troubling that novice investors now are more bullish than veterans, considering the results of recent survey by Charles Schwab that explored the relationship between in February, March 2020 waterfall decline, most likely after the first stimulus checks went out in April 2020. Now, look, I'm here in Australia. I didn't receive any checks, nothing at all. That was all to do with the US, but obviously that is a massive driver in overall economy growth. That was the thought behind it. A lot of people put it into stocks, crypto, paid off debt, so forth and so forth. I think this, you know, it really took us by surprise when the market just turned more than anything from one of the greatest drops in history to then one of the greatest recoveries in history. So just keep in mind that. That means that Generation I has only seen a powerful bull market. Since mid-April of a year ago, the S&P 500 had produced a dividend-adjusted return of 52%, and the NASDAQ composite 70% gain. Now, look, guys, I'm not too sure if you're familiar with the stock market, but look, on average, the S&P 500 returns to a 7 to 8% return a year. Now, you're talking a 70% return on the NASDAQ and a 52% return on the S&P. That's if you got the bottom. Now, obviously, getting the bottom, you know, that's something that only no one knows. It's just all speculative. But look, if you got the bottom, well done, well done. You know, you're looking at gaining, but these new investors have only seen highs, don't think it can be corrected, don't think it can go down, and look, it's just something to consider. The chart below shows what the survey found. Notice that it's a real eye-opener to see what, you know, what the critics are having out there. So the contrast is typical of a late-stage bull market. At such time, veteran investors who have lived through prior bear markets and therefore recognize when the market is skating on thin ice. We have already taken some money off the table. New investors who haven't lived through a bear market and who therefore feel relatively invincible, not only won't have reduced their equity holdings, but as the accompanying chart illustrates, will be intending to increase their holdings. Look, I'm not going to go through the entire article here, guys, but look, Market Watch, you know, I feel they've got it on. I think this is a great article. It really speaks to what's happening in the market right now. All these YOLO investors thinking that we can just put call options, buy and hold, and it only ever goes up. Look, you know, this is something you need to keep an eye on. It's something that doesn't happen all the time. And, you know, this is just something to be skeptical of and, you know, just do your own financial advice. If you like the video so far, don't forget, like, subscribe, comment in the description. Let me know how I'm going. Let me know what you want us to talk about. What do you want us to talk about? What are we talking about? Something that you're interested in, not interested in? What do you want us to talk about in the next video? Let me know. And lastly, guys, saving the best to last, Binance launches tradable stock tokens in Tesla. Now, this is going to be a stock market video. However, this is on Cointelegraph, but just so you know, this is 100% interlocking in with the stock market. Let's read on. Each digital token represents one share of equity stock and is fully backed by a depository portfolio of underlying securities that represents the outstanding token. Users will be able to trade fractional tokens. This is absolutely the most bullish news that we have got here, guys. Look, if you don't understand what this means, virtually what it means is that not everyone has access to the US stock market. Take me, for example. I'm from Australia, right? I need to go through the app Stake, which lets me buy and sell equities in the US market. Now, I don't have access to all of them. It's just I'm allowed to have a relatively good amount available, but that's the only way that I can have access to the US stock market. This, on the other hand, Binance, is available in more countries and is more widespread, and it's be able to unlock the interlocking potential between cryptocurrency and stock market. Let me explain. People might say, hey, why would I want to buy a token of Tesla when I can just buy the real thing? Now, let's discuss that. Some exchanges do not let you buy full shares, fractional shares, sorry. You're talking Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, Tesla, Google, these big names that are almost $1,000, if not $20,000 a share. If you can't buy fractional shares, how is anyone meant to own them? Also, like I said, not everyone has access to the US market. I feel that Binance has a much wider reach than what apps like Stake and other apps that connect to the US market or the US in general. This is getting everyone involved in interlocking between the digital atmosphere and obviously the stock market. If you can get more people involved in general, that means more people to be able to unlock more potential. I feel that this is just the start. Tesla's the very first one. You watch all come to the party here. You're going to see multiple companies wanting to have tokens backed by their stock price, and obviously being able to offer fractional shares means that you can own a piece of the puzzle, just like Bitcoin. You can own a fraction of a Bitcoin. You can own a fraction of Tesla, Google, Berkshire Hathaway, any of the stock that has a digital token presented. This is extremely bullish news, guys. This is good for the entire market, not just crypto.